Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Choro Club podcast. This is our first time back of the year. We are starting off with the Choro Club podcast. I'm here as the host, Dylan, and I'm here with Bobby,
Hello, guys.
Sam,
What's going on?
and Angel.
Hello.
And yeah, so we haven't been here in a while, so took a bit of a break. So we've been behind in a lot of stuff. So we're just gonna catch up on a lot of the stuff that we missed, and also talk about some of the stuff that has been happening recently for Masters. So I'll just go over that. So obviously, the first thing that happens right before supposed Nats and Worlds, I'll talk about that later in the situation, was the ban list. So we actually surprisingly got one like right before the events were going to happen. So they decided to just change the whole format for North American Nats and Worlds, not before the other Nats happened. So pretty impactful stuff. Bunny Girl Bulma getting banned for mostly the Kitku deck. Nova getting hit mostly for Oceanus. Those are like two of the strongest decks that got hits. And then obviously the errata to the Kitku leader is pretty huge, making it to where you can't hit Unisons anymore, which is the biggest outcry for that deck for sure. Was the being able to remove Unisons so easily, and obviously the auto not being once per turn. But they at least did something to where Unisons are now a little more playable with this deck around. So yeah, what do you guys think about this ban list? Do you think it was impactful? I know we've had it for a while. So like, how do you think the meta's been with these bans been around recently?
It's ass, to be quite honest.
Really? You think it's worse now?
The meta? Is it worse? I think there's less fun decks to play. I think everything fun gets just totally raped by the most boring decks of all time. But, yeah, I just hate mill. I'd rather just get my ass blown out by Kitku than get milled. I mean, it is impactful. They did the thing where they didn't hit enough, like, they do every few ban lists. It's good though. I'm glad they hit something at least.
I don't know. It's like they're afraid to hit dormant for some reason. I don't know. It's like if they hit dormant, then green's just gonna suck. So, I mean, I get that, I suppose, but it just seems like Mill's just gonna be taken over. I know who was the Legends one with Kitku at the Orlando thing, but that was just a small 20-person locals, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I don't know. For the most part, I think it could have been better, but they took care of the problems that needed to be taken care of a little bit. So it turned out to be kind of fair, I suppose. But I don't know. I think they could have did more.
Yeah, I think the ban list hit some areas that definitely needed to be hit. I think Kitku affecting Unisons as you're printing all these decks that need Unisons was dumb. So that was a good change. I think the Bunny Girl ban really hurts a lot of decks outside of Kitku. That Bulma is basically dead. Gohank's really relied on Bunny Girl. So that's tough. And then the Nova hit. That deck was really strong, so I'm happy I wasn't gonna get my game ended on turn 3 by that. But that relying on a TP from 3 years ago that nobody had and is a ridiculous price on the secondary market wasn't good for them either. So I think overall the hits that they made were good, but they left us with a green deck that can mill for some reason, so they can sit behind dormant, and it makes that being the top deck in the room to plan against is really lame. Nobody wants to get milled.
I don't know. I don't think they think about the future. I think they just figure what's happened before in the past rather than what's going to happen in the next set. They used to be. It's funny. They used to be kind of good at that few ban lists ago, but it seems like they kind of just stopped. I know they kind of missed. They kind of didn't do a ban list for the last few months, so I don't know. They could have. I feel like they could have just did more.
Yeah, because we're kind of back into a situation where where you just can't play any deck you want now, because obviously one of the top decks just counters you. It just counters you so hard with the mill. Like if you just can't kill your opponent fast enough, or you can't get through the floodgates, you just can't win. So that's just kind of lame. And I mean the bans did do what they were intended to stop these decks from being as powerful, which is just Oceanus and Kitku, nothing else. But now we're
Dylan,
kind of left.
if I could hop in on that point before you segue away, that's what you said about these decks being on a timer is exactly right. For a good deck that should have been opened up by the Kid Crew ban was the Golden Cooler black deck that was released in the last set. But that's a slower black deck that doesn't push your opponent in quick enough, and Zamasu is just going to mill it. So Kid Crew going away because or that opening up because Kid Crew went away, it, in theory is cool, but then you just run into another deck that also gatekeeps all of these same decks. So it's just kind of funny how you trade in one bad guy for another.
It gatekeeps entire play styles. You can't even play a slow or like a mid-range deck. You're either playing aggro or you're losing, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say blue's basically dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, most blue decks can't handle that much mill. So
aggro ones, yeah.
I mean, same thing. Even with Nova, Nova's a top tier deck, and I mean, I guess there's still ways around it. And Nova's still very good, but it's like Mill's just still there.
yeah. So in conclusion, I would say the ban list it was pretty good. It did its job, but unfortunately, I feel like it was kind of just too late. I mean, we kind of just immediately got replaced with Zamasu, which is kind of in some ways worse, where it plays a lot of a lamer way. So that's all with the ban list. It's been around for a while. You guys probably already know a lot about it, so we're not going to stay on that for too long. So we'll just move on to the situation. Well, I guess we can talk about what came first before that, which is Card Fest in Orlando. So we actually went to this one because we're in Florida, so it was close by. We went to the events. And how would you guys say your experience at Card Fest was?
Was ass. The Dallas one was way better.
Oh, that's for sure. But I'll tell you though, I know me and Andrew, who've been going to these events for the last year. What we did, like 3 of them or something so far.
We did last year's and we did.
We did last year's and then like 2 this year, I think.
Yeah, that one.
It just feels like each event is just kind of like not drastically, but it's like gone downhill each time we've gone there. Like I think Dallas was pretty good, but there was like just problems, I think, still. And then once Orlando hit, when we went to it, man, that just topped it. It was horrible.
Yeah, there probably should have been separate things for the cards and for like the general entry. I don't know, that Giga line that was like 2 miles long was insane. That was a bummer of a start. And then the way they treated all the Dragon Ball players was just kind of sad. That was I mean, I get it. It is what it is. When you're like with every other game in the room, I think it's us, Battle Spirits, and Union Arena, probably the redheaded stepchildren. So, but I mean, the other ones got to be in the big room. We got sent to like a corner of shame.
Yeah.
Should I give a quick synopsis of our experience?
Yeah,
so people
go ahead.
Understand kind of how bad it was.
Yeah.
So we stayed in an Airbnb, and on Friday night, so we were there Saturday, no issues. We get told that the spectator passes and like side event people, it opens up at 10 o'clock. So we leave the Airbnb about 9, go to breakfast, get to the venue, park. We're walking up to the venue before 10 o'clock. So in theory, for our noon side events, we should be good to go. But we arrive, and this line that contains, it seems like all of the One Piece Nationals players, all of every Bandai game is in one single file line down the entire Orange County Convention Center.
Yeah.
And I mean, getting hit with that, it just makes you want to leave immediately. At least me. I was already out before we even played. But we get in line, and I think it takes us an hour and 45 minutes to proceed to the front. We get to the front. There are 3 human beings scanning QR codes on the TCG Plus app, which we needed about 300 people scanning them, and we had 3. And it wasn't a very quick process because they got to walk you through where to go, where to pull up the QR code, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like walking away from the desk, grabbing the entry stuff.
People were asking
questions, giving that back
too.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, I couldn't even believe that there's more people working airport security than checking these people in. It just took forever. I don't know. So
Well,
we
there's also
finally
empty booths right there too,
tons, rows of empty booths that I don't know what they were there for, but it
with
wasn't to
people
check
just
people in.
sitting there.
They had their own dedicated ones for the side events, like for the other ones. It was weird.
So it was really bad. So we get into the venue finally. We walk through, and we progress into the main hall where it's very nice set up. They have all these statues, and I mean a really cool setup. Just makes you feel like you're in a neat spot. And they got all the main stages and the games and all this stuff. So we go in and we try and find the desk to register for our side events. So there's no line for Masters because nobody plays Masters. And we get to the desk and we tell the guy what we're here for, and he kind of looks at us like, "What? You're playing? What game are you playing?" I enjoyed that part. And then he tells us, "Actually, we're not doing registration here. You're going to do it in the room where Masters is." So we leave there and head to the room where Masters is. We get in to this closet, which is way separated from all the cool stuff I talked about earlier. And we enter the room and we talk to the judges there, and they say, "Oh, you're not registered." I'm like, "Well, they told us we should be." And so, no, actually, you're not registered. You have to go back to where you were prior and register for the event. Okay. Or check in for the event, whatever. So we do that. We do this whole circle. We go back to the same guy. We wait to get back to him because he's helping other people. There's only a few staff. He gets back to us, and he's also confused. But somehow, eventually, he ends up getting us scanned in. We don't get our participation prize in, but we get scanned in. We walk all the way back to the hall, and we finally sit down, and we're waiting to play. Anything major I've missed here so far, guys? You want to chime in?
No, that's correct.
It turns out everyone around us also didn't know they weren't signed in because nothing showed up on the app. We had to use the app for everything. So how are they going to start this event when could they not even tell that no one was signed in no one was even signed into the event on the app? Like, how are we going to start the event with 0 players?
Nobody knew anything.
They didn't know what they were doing. So
because we had our tickets, we bought our tickets through the Tixar app or whatever it's called. But then they're like, what? Well, you're supposed to be signed on the Bandai TCG app. And we're like, no. No. And the dudes behind us were like, yeah, we're not there too. And then he's like, all right, just pull up your barcode or whatever. And then they just scanned us in.
Yeah, how it works is that we give them our TCG Plus number, then they put us into the event on the app, so we can sign into the event when we get there. But for the first day, it just wasn't.
They should have added you in. They should have added everyone in from the Tixer thing because that's what they did with Gundam. Because I bought the Tixer thing and I was already in the Gundam event. Like I just walked up and they're like, "Okay, you're here. Here's your thing for later," and that was it.
So they didn't really know what was going on. They didn't seem to care either. But so we sit down. We're at the table, and everybody else who basically trickles in behind us is like, "Oh, they have to go through the exact same process we did." So this event takes forever to start.
And it's a long walk. It's a long walk to the Dragon Ball.
It's like
room,
what,
by
a
the
good
way.
8 minutes, I think. Maybe 5 minutes.
Just back and forth, over and over again.
Walking it grumpily, it makes it seem longer for sure. So we finally get started. We're about to play. Everyone's in the app. Whatever. They announced that tables 11 through 27 are all single elimination. And we're all like, what? Single elimination? What are you talking about? And I guess they ran 2 side events, one single elimination and one Swiss, but they had it all confused or whatever. We were all playing Swiss. The majority of the players were there. I think there was 4 guys playing in the other one. The majority of us were waiting to play Swiss. They tell us it's all single elimination. So we all bitch about that. It takes a while. They repair us, re-put us at tables, but now our table numbers are whatever's on the app -7. So if you're table 7, you're supposed to be able to -7 and head to table 0, I guess was something like that. Some number. It might have been -4, -5. I forget.
-18.
Yeah. So it's all fucked up.
Which was crazy because they had enough numbers on the table. Why didn't they just let us sit at the freaking...
Who knows, dog?
numbers on the tables?
It was so bad.
Oh, man.
So we finally all sit down, and by this point, we've all kind of bonded in our misery. It seemed like everyone around me was very cordial to their opponent. I played against Matthew Manning. He's pretty. He talks on the groups a lot of stuff. He had flown here thinking this is going to be his Nats because he couldn't go to California, and he's saddled with this horrific.
I felt so bad for that guy. Yeah,
yeah. So he was definitely feeling it. And once we finally started playing, it went okay. We had a pretty
Was it
good.
like 2 hours later? I think.
I mean, in between
is
rounds,
after
it took
2:00.
in between rounds, it still took forever for them to get to the next round, though.
Yeah, they took so long. I had to leave.
It was
the other
really
event.
bad. After, I believe it was after round 4. We waited for 40 minutes or something like that, and we come to find out that the Fusion World events and the Masters events and all the other side events that are running are all being run on one single computer, which these judges don't have access to or don't. It was insane.
I didn't know that. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was all being run on one computer.
With one guy.
It took like 40 minutes for them to finally get us our 5th round pairings. On the final table, who we knew, the 2 undefeateds, Brandon and Carrick, they played out their match before the seeding even went up.
Yeah.
They were done. So we're all waiting. We finally finish up. I mean, the guys on this podcast who stayed in it did pretty good, or at least from our local area, did pretty good. I got 2nd. Brandon got 3rd, even though Brandon played the last round, was undefeated. We both lost to Carrick. And then Dylan, I think, got 5th.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty good showing, but by the time we got done with it, everybody was like, "Oh man, this sucked." Everyone wanted to leave.
I literally, dude, I was so frustrated that like I just didn't even want to play the rest of the time. I mean, I got friggin' railed by the Demon Gohan card or whatever 2 games in a row. So and plus with what was happening with the event in general, I couldn't do. I was steaming and I just couldn't do it no more. So I just ended up just hanging out and walking around the event and just checking everything out.
The craziest thing that happens at the end of our Swiss tournament, I think they only had like one Swiss tournament and then like the one single limb that they had with like 4 people in it. After that, they said the event had gone on for so long that they're just canceling all other side events for that day. All of them are being canceled. So like these guys were coming in for like, hey, I'm here for like 3:30 for side event. I'm here to play, and they just get told that it's been canceled, and they're like, oh, how do I get a refund? They're just like, good luck. That's what they told them. They're like, yeah, good luck getting your money back. And it's just like, that's so crazy they can even do that to you.
Like, there shouldn't be a reason why they can't refund you right there on the spot. And it's crazy. Like, even back to like the one computer thing. Like, everything I've been to like locals and Yu-Gi-Oh locals and Pokemon locals that are like 3 times the size of how many people showed up to Orlando, and it's all been done on one computer. So it's like I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. Maybe it's the Bandai app or whatever that they're using or something. But there should have been no reason why, like, the refunds, like, they couldn't just refund you right there on the spot. I mean, I can understand refunds taking a couple of days to, like, come back into your account or whatever, but there should have been no reason why, like, all that stuff could have been taken care of right there.
Yeah, so all those events are canceled. We all have to leave that side closet they put us in to go back to the main floor to stand in line to collect our prize.
That was a hoot, too. You mentioned the side, the freaking broom closet they put us in.
Yeah, that was rough. So some extended period of time after this should have started and 5 rounds should have been finished, we finally collect our prizing. It was kind of neat because we did get the finals, this year's finals participation prizing, and if you placed high enough, you got like 1 of the gold packs or 2 of the gold packs. So we were able to get some cool promos and trade and stuff, and we're part of a very limited group of people who have those promos, since our next topic will come up. But we left. We had a great dinner at a burger place. We had a great time. Airbnb was way more fun than the event. And then Sunday we went back, and it was improved. I think they had figured out at least how it wasn't amazing or anything, but they at least ran a functioning tournament, started on time.
Well,
everybody seemed to know.
I think they realized people were railing. Like we go back later that day, and you just see comments after comments on the discussion group on Facebook, and I'm sure somebody read it somewhere, and people were just not happy. So they probably just decided to do something about it on Sunday. I mean, that's my guess.
Yeah, the second day they actually had everyone in the app on time. They actually started the tournament basically on time. Had everyone at the right tables, so. They did decent on the second day. They still were taking forever in between rounds, unfortunately. So we decided to leave early. We decided to leave early at the tournament because we were kind of fed up with that. as we didn't want to get home super late. So it's like, yeah, it's taking too long still. We're just going to leave. So unfortunately, we didn't get to play fully through
rounds or
this. Yeah, we only played, I think we only played 3 rounds, yeah, and then we had to just left because it was taking too long. So that was pretty much our Card Fest experience. Was not great. It seems like it was kind of a fault of both Bandai and PlayTCG. I don't think just one of them is to blame. It's definitely just incompetence from both of them, it feels like.
Yeah, it was fine, and like I said, in Dallas when we were an actual event, it was run fine. You know, like usual anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody important is probably going to hear this, but throughout my whole like just gaming like career doing this through just like the last whatever 10 15 years that I've been doing this, people have always hired just random people, giving them packs, giving them minimum wage or whatever it is and stuff like that, and bring these people onto the events to, I mean, we had friends just checking deck lists. That, well, I remember him checking deck lists all day, like the paper. When we used to do papers back in the day, you had to write out your deck lists for Yu-Gi-Oh and whatnot, and they would just hire people. And I don't understand why that just can't be done, because I'm sure there's more than enough people. You could get more than enough people to just come in and just help out and do that stuff. If you pay them food, pay them in promos or whatever, and just pay them or whatever. So I hope maybe next time they can learn from this and take a suggestion that I think, because that just seemed, because what you do is you just put in like a month ahead of time, and I'm sure you'd get like swarming amounts of people that would actually just help out and do it instead of playing. So I mean, that's just my advice. If anybody's listening, I hope you guys can take it.
More staff, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty awful experience, honestly. From the Card Fest side, I mean, just hanging out with friends, Airbnb, getting food. That's always fun time, just hanging out with friends. That makes it all worth it. At least we got some promo. We got our promos at least. We were worried for a bit that we weren't even going to get them.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad we got stuff at all. I mean, it wasn't like amazing stuff, but it was something at least.
I'll tell you though, this is the first time ever that I've gotten my participation promos at the end.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, so
that's never happened to me before. Can't speak for nobody else, but get participation promos at the end.
Sucks that we don't get many events in Florida anymore. So when we barely go to a Florida event anymore, and this kind of stuff happens, it's just really disappointing. So
thank God we didn't fly in.
Yeah. So speaking of flying in, we'll move on to our next one, Battle Hour, where North American Nats and Worlds was going to be held. We were actually planning to go to it this year, the 4 of us, and it ended up getting canceled. If you haven't heard of the fires going on in Florida recently, or not Florida, California recently.
California.
They decided it was too much of a risk. They decided to cancel it. I understand why they did it. I mean, nobody's really going to fault them for doing this. I mean, it's obviously
maybe a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I guess the timing of it. Yeah, they waited quite a while for it to cancel. I mean, they waited like less than a week. Wasn't it like less than a week? Yeah, before they finally canceled it.
Yeah, it was literally 2 days before our flight.
Yeah, I think Bobby, some of your friends were like actually flying in already, right? Thinking they were still going. I
had a buddy who got there on Sunday. Yeah, he was going to be there for the week.
It's crazy.
Jeez, dude, I would have been. Whew.
Like I know the fires happened like a week before the event, but like still, dude.
They waited so long. Now I feel like that was unacceptable. Like they should have like posted something like
Friday before,
day or two after. Like even if they had to come to a
decision.
decision or whatever, they should have posted something like a day or two after saying, "Okay, we're under advisement. We'll get back to you in a couple days to let you know the situation," type of shit or whatever. So I don't know. That was unacceptable in my eyes.
Yeah. So now all of us are down a lot of money from flights. So sucks.
At least we were able to get Airbnbs back, I guess.
Yeah, we got some money back from that. Yeah, so
shouts out to Airbnb for being cool about that one.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that was the app itself, not the people.
That's what I'm saying. Not the hosts. They would have not given you your money back.
No, the hosts were too busy making TikTok videos about how rich they are from all their rental houses to give poor little old me a
Yeah.
refund.
Besides, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be perfectly fine. There's a lot of people
Oh,
that
yeah.
need houses down there.
Yeah, all the rich people are moving into the shitty apartments.
Yeah, so hopefully anyone who was going to this got their money back and stuff. So I know they sent an announcement saying they did refund people for any like LCQs and stuff that you paid for. I did end getting my refund, so I think everyone else should have gotten yours.
Yep, I got mine.
Yeah, I need to check my account. I got the email though, a couple days ago.
Yeah, so make sure anyone who's watching this who went to the event, make sure you got your refund. If not, message them about it. Make a fuss. Apparently they are going to be rescheduling this though. Most likely still in LA, maybe. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Can't they just do it in Vegas or something?
Yeah. Apparently they want to do both Nats and Worlds together still, not separated. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Wherever they might be, whatever day.
I mean, that makes sense. Just do it on a weekend.
So, yeah, I don't know if I'm still gonna go. I mean, maybe these guys will still go, but depends on what it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be sometime in the next couple months. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I guess we'll have to talk about Worlds later on when it actually happens in the next couple months. So, all right, we'll move on.
Hopefully we're able to go. I mean, I know besides, I think just like Bobby, you were the only one that wasn't able to get a full.
I'm probably not going to go. No, after eating $450 and my airline ticket for the last one that they won't let me use. I'm hoping for webcam nets. That would be the best solution.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'd take that.
3 rounds and drop.
Yeah, that's me. Webcam, not a real tournament. Not playing it.
Yeah, I just can't even do webcams anymore. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's more stressful than actual IRL events, to be honest with you.
It's psychological torture unless you're a fucking.
And then you got to worry about people cheating, which freaking happens all the time too. So,
dude, you can cheat against me if I don't have to wait an hour and 45-minute line.
Yeah.
My God.
All right, well, we'll talk about more webcams later on in other topics. So, all right, so the next topic we got is the new TPs. So they actually changed how they operate. I don't know if it's going to be going like this from now on, but at least for this time.
Yeah. Every Bandai game's like this now.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's not. TPs are now not going to be tied to the sets. They're just going to be like a sets, because I think we're now getting fewer sets a year. It seems like we're getting more and more months in between sets. So I guess TPs are not going to be tied around the sets anymore, or at least like maybe one in between won't be tied around the sets. It's just going to be legacy support, which is pretty cool. I mean, everyone likes legacy support, so that's cool. So this one's entirely made of legacy support, except for the 2 cards for the new pre-release later, which we'll talk about. So yeah, any standouts you guys want to mention? Any you guys like any of these TPs? I know we've had some of them around, play with some of them a little bit. How do you guys like them?
They're good. I feel like for the really weak decks, they're not quite enough. They read crazy, but some of these need these old decks need like a huge overhaul. But they are really good legacy support. In general, I'm thinking mostly the Boo and the Piccolo SH stuff. That stuff's like mediocre, but the cards are super strong too. Like the black support and the Vegito, those are very powerful. So
yeah, that Vegito's crazy, especially in Pan.
Yeah, that's a big card. The power crept after image, pretty tight.
Yeah, the only support I'm super familiar with is the Shroom and Salsa stuff. And those cards both seem good for the archetype. So it's unfortunate that we're in a mill format and you can't play a deck that's best quality is drawing cards. But it seems like everyone's pretty happy with these TPs. There's nothing insane. There's good support. It seems like it's been positively received.
It's good. And it's easy to get. Well, if you got a locals, it's easy to get.
Yeah.
They don't. I believe they don't charge the stores anymore for the TPs. You just get them if you support the game there. Our locals are free now because he doesn't have to pay for TP kits. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Shout out
savings on to you. Shout out
to Tom.
Yeah.
Hero.
Hopefully he stays there another 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah. The caveat
He'll
to
be
that,
alive. I'll be dead by then.
the caveat to that is since locals are free now, TPs are not like entirely sets; they are entirely random now. So I mean, whichever cards you
Yeah.
get from the pack, so it's whatever you get. So you can get like the same. You can get the same winner like 5 weeks in a row.
4 times in
It's
a row. Yeah, we
possible.
did
They're
that.
not they're not mapped out anymore. That's what
Yeah.
you
Yeah. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
didn't
So-
we get like what was it? The blue card, the
Yeah, we got the ass Haruta going like over
yeah,
and
like
over and over.
yeah, like we all because we all got the packs or whatever, and we all opened it. We all four of us get the winner for the gun.
So terrible. Card is like 80 cents.
But yeah, I mean, I prefer them doing TP this way. I prefer it's just
It
like
feels better.
if it's just legacy
More
support.
exciting.
I don't like them making new decks and then like making like a new card that has to be played in that deck. In the TPs.
Yeah, that
So-
always sucks.
Yeah, they did that a little bit. There's the the pan pre-release leader stuff, but
I mean, yeah, they did the same thing what they did with the Mai, where they put like her only support cards are in the TPs instead of like a couple cards in the set anymore. But
which I guess technically makes sense because if you're showing up to a pre-release event at your tournament, then you're going to show up to the locals, so you get the support for the thing that you know what I mean. It kind of makes some sense.
And it doesn't feel bad if you don't go to locals and you buy product because you didn't get that leader anyway.
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
so it's fine. I mean, I like the support. Hopefully they keep it like this. I don't know if the next TP is going to be tied to the next set or not. I guess we'll see how they handle that and include cards from there, or if this one's going to be lasting. I guess this one lasts until in March, right?
Yep.
So I guess that could be until the next set comes out. So I guess we'll see if we get new TPs around when the next set comes out. See how
With
that
the
goes.
April or June, right?
From January
Almost coming.
until March, and then
So April will do a new one.
yeah. So
Is it all the way to the end of March that it says on it?
it just says January until March. So I guess
Well, the new
be-
set's beginning of March. It could just be beginning of March.
The ones from the last rotation were October through December.
2 months makes sense.
yeah. So we'll probably get new ones pretty close to the new set. So we'll see if those are tied to the new set at all. But yeah, we can move on then. We'll just talk about the pre-release stuff that got revealed. We're going to talk about the actual decks that have been being revealed in their own deck reviews like we did last set. These ones we'll just talk about now because they're just by themselves. So we got a Pan Xeno leader. I think this is our first ever one. Seems like a pretty decent leader. Has a really good Z Unison. It's one of those combo draw cards. So decks. So seems pretty good. I know Bobby, you play black a lot. So how do you think this Pan deck looks?
Yeah, I think this will see play. It seems like if you want to play that generic black aggro and you don't want to buy the Z fields or the Z extras for SS4 Goku because they're crazy expensive, this is the deck for you. You can play that burst strategy and you'll be fine. Everybody negates the leader swing anyway against Goku Xeno, so the double strike is a myth. So you can play this and be fine. And the Z card they printed, dude, that card is pretty insane. Honestly, Black already has the best Z deck. You want me to go through it real quick?
This is a must-use for black decks, you think? Like every black deck needs to use this card?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a guaranteed at least one of in every single black Z deck. Barrier removal in the Z deck.
It's crazy.
Yeah, for cheap and a double strike barrier swing. I mean, pretty
It's
nuts.
Barrier, dude.
And in
coming
Pan,
down.
in this deck actually, it makes it swing twice. It's even
Yeah.
bigger. So,
Gets even bigger. Well, 2 giant swings.
and then the TPs help for a lot. I guess I know the Goku's a negate and also Beanju leader. It's pretty nice. And the
Trunks is insane.
Yeah, Trunks is
Just board wipe.
yeah,
For
board
one,
wipes.
I believe.
I think he has for one, and then he's dual attack. I think is that what it is?
I
believe it's-
the dual attack.
I think so. Yeah. Kind of hard to tell.
Either way,
How small the text
and the
is.
Supreme Kai's good in there too. Draw 2 off of it. You overwhelm, swing, and then the Supreme Kai will combo off your rested overwhelm guy. Draw you 2. Pretty nice. Let's see, Trunks is overwhelm 4, so you can actually play it for free in board wipe
Oh,
if you
dang.
want to.
That's pretty
Or
good.
you can activate main and he bursts 2 and draws a card and comes out. So those are like 2 options to get him out. And yeah, and obviously you can run the. Oh, never mind. That's the other new deck. We'll cover that later.
Yeah. So, pretty good pre-release stuff. I believe the pre-release is going to be late February, somewhere around there. Yeah, February 27th is around when the pre-release is going to be. So, if you have a store that still has Master stuff, make sure you get that stuff. And then we'll move on to our last topic, which is the most recent news. I believe it was just this week that they revealed all this stuff. So our 2025 competitive season has technically started. I know we still haven't had our Nats and Worlds yet, but they do say here that they're going to have a 2025 Finals and Worlds. So I guess that means Masters is going to survive for another year. They revealed the first events in North America, Oceania, and Latin America. First one in North America is going to be in Pasadena, California, again. So, yeah, nowhere near us, unfortunately. So, yeah, how do you guys feel about another guaranteed year of Masters being alive? Is this what you expected?
Feels good to live. I thought we were dead for sure after all that silence. So
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought they were just gonna drop us after the season.
Cardfest made it feel like it too.
Yeah, I mean, also too, the set release was late.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
close to the
didn't
amount of
have it
time.
in the plans. I don't think.
I mean, I could just kind of figure they were just waiting for Battle to release it because it was like what, a month late or something. So
Well, this was the first set that I remember when they announced Fusion World for like the first time ever. They gave us that roadmap, if you remember that, where they were like, "What the game's not dying, were planned out through this point."
Yeah,
And I think set 26 was the last thing they had on that roadmap. So that released in September or October, I believe.
yeah.
And then we're not getting this set until the beginning of March. So that's a much, much longer window than they typically do. Usually they're every 3 months, quarterly. So, they needed to design it.
Yeah, half a year instead.
Yeah, I mean, they have a line here saying, I mean, we look forward to seeing our players both online and offline throughout the entire year and beyond. So,
yeah, but that's, I mean, they could just scratch it like next month if they wanted to and just be done. Like that doesn't mean nothing.
I think the honest truth is, as long as the game keeps selling, they're gonna keep printing. So I mean, as long as we don't have no players.
In. The art is better in these like last couple of sets than we had for a while. Like there was a while where it was just like everything seemed very phoned in and shitty, but these last few sets have actually feel like they have some thought put into them, some balance to them, and everything. And like the
archetypes are good.
Yeah. So
it seems like they stopped making just whatever garbage archetypes just for no reason. They're actually like putting effort to make the decks like playable. At least playable for fun. So that's nice.
Plus, I don't know if you've noticed, but we kind of have like a Masters art style now. Like you know how Fusion World kind of has like a look to the way that they draw.
Yeah.
The characters like Masters kind of like if you look at the Goku on the new box, it's kind of like how Masters cards look now with all the like kind of heavy shading and stuff. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool to differentiate them. Pretty nice. So yeah, we kind of have like a roadmap here. They kind of posted like there's like a schedule. It says a schedule, and there's wave 1. It has March. It has just events, which I'm assuming they're gonna be releasing, and then it shows new products. So as the newest sets, which is the History of Z coming out next month or in March. And it has for April, May, June, and July. It just says events. So I don't know if that means we're not getting any sets for another 4 months, or if there's not going to tell us yet. But I guess we'll see how that goes. I don't know if they're going to be. I don't know how long they're going to be waiting in between sets this year. I guess we will see.
This should be the next set. Should be the start of a new block, right? Zenkai 10.
Yeah, this is Zenkai 10.
Well, how many did Unisons go to? Didn't it go to more than 10?
9.
It was 9, yeah.
Okay.
10 through 18. 10 through 18, yeah. 17 technically.
And they rebranded it halfway through, right?
Unison Warrior.
Boost
Masters,
or something, right?
Oh, Zenkai EX or something like that.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't Unison Warrior Boost. Wasn't there something?
Because they introduced. Yeah. So it could be time for a new mechanic, but honestly,
like what though? where do you
I don't
even
think they
go,
care.
bro?
I don't think they care enough to want to implement a new mechanic. Honestly,
I mean, honestly, the game's already complicated enough. People would complain about it. I really don't think they should be adding any more, just like new mechanics to the
You should
game.
probably cycle a fucking mechanic out at this point.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say they could probably cancel some out and be fine.
The new mechanic could just be a replacement for leader surge. Give me a different way to have a multicolor leader.
Please, God, yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
love
give us a new
Surge
kind of
And then-
leader. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, new type of awaken, or
But we haven't, even,
get some multicolor stuff going.
but we haven't even gotten multicolor in Fusion World yet, which is surprised by. So I guess we'll see how they want to.
That would be a huge pain in the ass to balance, but yeah, that's a
Yeah,
topic
so
for
I guess
another
we'll
time.
see how they handle multicolor and Fusion World before they maybe try it again in Masters. The first time was too good with a lot of the Surge leaders, so maybe they'll try it again. But
I mean, I think if they would have just made regular leaders, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah, just make them two colors. It ain't that hard, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally, you could just make them two colors and it would be fine. Because there's certain cards that are just like, if your leader's red or if your leader's yellow or whatever, you can only activate it. So it's like making them surge like that was insane.
yeah, because we
Even at the
have the
was
rainbow draft leaders, right? But nobody ever plays them because they're really basic. But I mean, we've had those in the game, and they're all 5 colors. So it obviously doesn't break the game just being different colors.
I mean, you give them a little something. I mean, but making them like surge like that, what is it like? Draw 3 or something, untap 1 or whatever it is.
Just
Depends
being
on
able,
the leader, but
just
yeah.
just being able to awaken whenever you want is kind of the broken part.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like I don't even know what to say with that.
At least it was back then. I mean, being able to awaken super fast nowadays isn't that off the wall.
No, a couple of those leaders wouldn't do shit now. But
That's freaking nuts.
Yeah. So, yeah, the future of Masters, I guess, is going to keep going. We'll see if it slows down. I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm still having fun with it.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope some tournament organizers step up this year, and there's some money to be made. I think if you on a weekend you run a webcam on your Discord, I think you still get enough Masters players to turn up for that if you give out some decent prizing. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool to get more than once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The positive part is at least they have events listed. I mean, they have in their schedule. They at
Online
least,
/ offline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least for every month they have events planned, so that's nice. I would like at least a 1 or 2 events at least every month, please. Just something to play the game. That would be nice. I mean, webcams aren't the best to play, but at least you don't have to leave home, don't have to travel, pay a bunch of money. So
It gives you a little something to look forward to, right? You get to prep and focus on a deck for a couple of weeks, and then disassemble it and never play it again.
get some prizing sent
After
to you
that.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we get that. I know they got Fusion World and stuff also to handle. So I guess we'll see how that goes. But
19 other games.
yeah, all their other games too. But yeah, so that's probably going to be the end of this podcast. We had a lot to catch up on, but I think we did it in a pretty good amount of time. So yeah, that was the ban list. We had the battle hour and our experience at Cardfest, the TPs, the pre-release stuff, and this. So, all right, that'll be the end of this Troll Club podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to our deck reviews of the history of Z. We will be trying to review every single deck that comes out as it's being revealed. So look out for those, and we'll obviously be bringing you guys some more videos throughout 2025, trying to keep the game alive, bringing you guys contents, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys in the next one. Good night.
Peace.
25 alive.